Imagine you're standing at center court, the scoreboard flashing a tie, the clock ticking down to its final heartbeat. Thousands of eyes are locked on you, every heartbeat in the building syncing with yours. You take the shot high arc, perfect spin, and in that half second before it lands, the entire arena is silent. Then swish. The noise detonates like a championship parade. That is what we're here for. Today in this video, we're not just talking about the 5 greatest plays from the 2024-25 NBA season up to August 2025. We're going to dissect them like master storytellers, exploring why these moments hit so hard, how they kept us glued to our seats, and how you can steal the same emotional magic to make your own stories land like a half-court buzzer beater. How you can start using it right now. We'll count down from 5 to 1, and by the time we get to number 1, 5, Game 7 Buddy. Our journey begins in a win-or-go-home Game 7 between the Golden State Warriors and the Houston Rockets. Up until this point in the series, Buddy Hield had been solid but unspectacular, an important piece, yes, but not the kind of name that headlines the next morning's sports section. And then the game tipped off, and Buddy decided he was done being a side character. In less than 2 quarters, he caught fire, scoring 22 points in the first half and drilling 6 three-pointers. By the end of the night, he had tallied 33 points, including 9 made threes, tying the NBA record for most three-pointers in a Game 7. The energy in the Chase Center wasn't just loud. It was charged, like the air before a lightning strike. This was more than a hot hand, it was the pure embodiment of a narrative twist. In storytelling terms, Buddy was the background player who steals the scene, shifting the entire plot in one audacious act. Every great narrative needs that surprise pivot, and Buddy delivered it with a shooting performance so sharp it could cut glass. 4. Wembanyama's 5x5. From the electricity of San Francisco, we jump to San Antonio, where rookie Victor Wembanyama is redefining what's possible on a basketball court. In a matchup against the Lakers, the 7'4" prodigy put up a stat line that even video games would consider unrealistic. 27 points, 10 rebounds, 8 assists, 5 steals, and 5 blocks. That's called a 5x5, and it's one of the rarest achievements in basketball. But Wembanyama didn't just accomplish it. He did it in only 30 minutes and 55 seconds, making it the fastest recorded 5x5 in NBA history. Watching him was like watching a cheat code come to life. He covered ground no human should be able to, handled the ball with the grace of a guard, and seemed to know exactly where the play was going before anyone else did. For a storyteller, this is the legend is born chapter. It's the moment where your audience realizes they're not just witnessing a great performance. They're seeing history. Wembanyama's game didn't just fill a box score. It carved his name into basketball lore. 3. Nikola Jokić. While some legends are made in explosions of brilliance, others are built in the quiet, methodical dismantling of an opponent's will. Nikola Jokić, the Denver Nuggets' brilliant center, continued his reign as one of the game's most dominant forces by delivering playoff performances that were more like symphonies than highlight reels. In one game, he posted 42 points and 22 rebounds. In another, 44 points, 15 rebounds, and 5 assists. But the magic wasn't just in the numbers, it was in how he achieved them. Jokić doesn't need flashy dunks or ankle-breaking crossovers. He plays the game like a chess grandmaster, seeing 3 moves ahead and manipulating the defense into doing exactly what he wants. For storytellers, Jokić represents the quiet burn, the slow-building suspense that keeps readers or viewers captivated without them even realizing it. His style is a reminder that you don't always need shock value to dominate. Sometimes total control of pacing and space is more devastating than the flashiest plot twist. 2. Trae Young's half-court gamble. Then we have Trae Young, the Atlanta Hawks guard whose range seems to extend into the parking lot. In a nail-biter of a game, tied at 121 with only seconds left, Young casually dribbled over half-court, pulled up from a distance that made fans gasp, and buried the shot as the buzzer sounded. The arena went from tense silence to absolute pandemonium in an instant, with fans leaping into the air, spilling drinks, and hugging strangers like they just won the lottery. Young's night already featured 24 points and 20 assists, but this one shot defined the game and, for many, the season. It was audacious, it was improbable, And it was unforgettable, one of those plays where you know exactly where you were when it happened. In storytelling, this is your risky move, the gamble your audience doesn't see coming, but that changes everything. Most people play it safe when the stakes are high, but the stories that stick are often born from the willingness to take a chance that looks insane until it works. Trae didn't just win the game. He cemented himself in the highlight reels for years to come, a reminder that sometimes the wildest choices create the most lasting legacies. 1. Jalen Brunson. Finally, we land in New York with Jalen Brunson, a player whose game is built on grit, timing, and the refusal to back down. In one unforgettable performance, Brunson poured in 55 points, 42 of them coming in the second half and overtime. It wasn't a one-shot miracle or a sudden explosion. It was a slow, grinding domination that broke the will of the opposing defense possession by possession, each bucket feeling heavier than the last as the clock wound down. By the end of the season, Brunson's consistent heroics in high-pressure moments earned him the title of Clutch Player of the Year, a fitting crown for someone who seemed to grow stronger with each tick of the clock. For storytellers, Brunson is the marathon man, the protagonist who doesn't just show up for the climax, but carries the story on their shoulders from the rising action to the very last beat. His game is proof that sustained tension, when executed well, can make the final payoff even sweeter, leaving audiences not just impressed but completely invested in the journey that got them there. The emotional blueprint behind greatness. When you place these 5 moments side by side, a pattern emerges. Buddy Hield's Game 7 is about transformation stepping into the spotlight when no one expects it. Wembanyama's 5x5 is about legacy achieving something so rare it instantly becomes part of history. Jokic's Control is about mastery dominating through precision and foresight. Trae Young's buzzer beater is about audacity, making the outrageous choice and watching it pay off. Brunson's 55-point masterpiece is about endurance, maintaining excellence through sustained pressure. These themes aren't confined to basketball. They are the backbone of every great story ever told. Change, history, mastery, risk, and resilience, these are the elements that keep audiences coming back for more. From the court to your craft. The beauty of these NBA moments is that they're more than highlights. They're case studies in human drama. In your own storytelling, whether it's a speech, a video, or a brand campaign, you can draw directly from these emotional beats. Set up your transformation like Buddy's Game 7. Give your achievements the historical weight of Wembanyama's 5x5. Control your pacing like Jokić. Take calculated risks like Trae Young, and grind through your narrative like Brunson. The court might be hardwood, but the principles work anywhere an audience is watching. The 2024-25 NBA season gave us plays that shattered expectations, thrived under pressure, and left us in awe, each one a masterclass in storytelling through transformation, audacity, control, endurance, and legacy. Now it's your turn. When the clock is winding down on your big moment, will you play it safe? Or will you take the shot that could define everything? In basketball and storytelling alike, the unforgettable moments are the ones that dare to surprise, inspire, and challenge belief. Trust your preparation, embrace the risk, and step into your moment. Greatness belongs to those brave enough to seize it when it matters most. And that's the wrap on the NBA's top 5 plays of the season so far. 5 moments that prove legends aren't born. They're made in the heat of the game. If you loved reliving these highlights and the stories behind them, smash that like button like Buddy Hield smashing threes. Subscribe for more epic breakdowns that mix the thrill of the game with the art of storytelling.